The top Lobo comic book covers. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos comic book fan. I've got another top 5 comic countdown for you. This time it's the top 5 Lobo covers. Lobo is one of my favorite comic book characters. He's just so badass, so tough, so funny, so violent. He's had a great run of comics. And here's a few covers that I've liked. Now, starting off, honorable mention, the New 52 Lobo. A lot of people didn't really like him. It was a big change from the badass biker persona that he had. It was a big change. But here's one cover that I liked from his 13-issue run of the New 52 versus Superman. So cool painted cover, cool expression. That's not really the Lobo we know and love, but it's still a good artistic achievement. So honorable mention, Lobo number 4. All right, starting the top 5. Here's number 5, Lobo, ongoing series, number 1. This book is from 1993. And after Lobo was in a variety of short series, he got his own series, which went like 73 issues in the 90s. And this was issue number 1. Speaking of the 90s, this is when we had the glorious days of gimmick covers. Well, we've got that day again. But anyway, this was the first wave of gimmick covers. And what do we have the main man saying? I got your cover enhancement right here, pointing to his shiny silver zipper. So cool perspective, his irreverent attitude as always, plus gimmick cover enhancement. Lobo number 1. Number 4. Lobo wasn't always in his own series. He bounced around in a bunch of others, such as Legion. I don't remember what that stands for. You can remind me in the comics. But he was a side character, a supporting character in this series. This is Legion 91, so every year was a different year. And this is Legion number 31. Beautiful painted cover, Lobo versus Shazam. If you don't know much about Lobo, yeah, he can tangle with superpowered characters no problem, and usually beat them too. For example, Superman, Shazam, others that we will look at this in this countdown. But I like this cover a lot because it's just so detailed. Great painting, stylized, and then they are in a cosmic battle above the planets and stuff. And Lobo has a fun bow in his hair and stuff. I like how his eye trail is right here, and no fear against Shazam. So this is Legion 91, number 31. Number 3, Lobo was in a bunch of 1- and 4-issue series in the 90s. One of them was Lobo, A Contract on God. This is number 2 of 4, suggested for mature readers. We really mean it. And yeah, you can tell from this cover right here, Lobo atop a pile of dead angels. Yes, this is the series where Lobo battled God and the devil, spoiler alert, and beat them both. This is the series that established that basically Lobo cannot go to heaven or hell. He's been banished from both. That's how badass the main man is. And look at this badass cover. Painted again. Just a lot of gory detail. And him standing triumphantly with his big guns. And oh, look at that. What did we have it saying over here? Angels with bloody faces. Frag away to heaven. Cherub rocker. Hilarious. And his cigar-chomping classic persona, chalky white skin, red eyes, leather jacket, and everything. Then this just plain stark blue teal background. This is Lobo, A Contract on God, number 2. Number 2 on the list is Superman, the Man of Steel, number 30. This is Superman versus Lobo. This is the newsstand variant, and here we have a titanic battle Basically, Lobo comes to Earth and is like, what, Superman got killed by some geek named Doomsday? Yeah, right, only the main man can take down Superman. So this is after the death and rebirth of Superman, and this is a battle between the two. Well, okay, this is not actually the #2 cover. This is the #2 cover, the variant edition. So it's the pick your own fight, first ever do-it-yourself cover. Again, I love the 90s. This is from 1994. This is a gimmick cover that they've never done again, perhaps. Lobo strikes again and again and again and again. Well, this is a make your own cover because it comes with a bunch of clinging little stickers. Collector's Edition, Man of Steel #30, 32-page comic featuring Lobo versus Superman, sheet of removable vinyl clings. So you can make your own cover by having these different poses for Superman and Lobo and bystanders and sound effects and stuff, and putting it into your own cover however you want. Make Lobo beating the Man of Steel instead of the other way around. So you can make your own cover unique compared to everyone else. Still in the package. So this is #2, Superman, Man of Steel, #30. Here's a few more honorable mentions before we get to #1. We've got Lobo #1,000,000. So the conceit of this is, what if we traveled 1,000,000 months in the future? And DC Comics is still publishing comics 1,000,000 months in the future. This is like the 853rd century. And this is Lobo in the future as a chubby old-timer still doing his drinking and partying and smoking like in the old days. Oh, there's his dog named Dog. He still got him in the future. Look at that little pup. And it's just a concept that they did with a bunch of DC Comics back in the day. This is in the year, see right here, November 85,271. Issue number 1,000,000, still costing $250 in the future. That's nice. This is actually from 1998, and DC did a bunch of these future superheroes in the future, number 1,000,000. Superman 1,000,000, Wonder Woman 1,000,000, but the one I care about is Lobo 1,000,000 because it's just so hilarious. You know, he's still clinging to his old days and still drinking and partying and womanizing, and here it is. So honorable mention, Lobo #1,000,000. Another honorable mention, Lobo, Highway to Hell, #2 of 2. I really like this cover because it's a Sam Keith cover. He's best known for creating the Max, and here it is in his style. And look at that hilarious style. That little kid is totally barfing his guts up, and just all of these characters look hilarious. And Lobo looks pretty funny too, but still pretty badass as usual. It's just a hilarious, weird cover. And by a great artist, Sam Keith. So Lobo, Highway to Hell, #2. Another honorable mention is, actually this is the very first Lobo comic I ever got. This is the Lobo Convention Special, #1 from 1993. And I got this comic book for free when I attended my very first San Diego Comic-Con. That's the convention in question. Basically, Lobo goes to the San Diego Comic-Con 1993. So I got this for free when I went to my first Comic-Con. And this cover is hilarious because look at this. He's got the complete parody excess of the 90s. The pouches all over the place, the cybernetic leg, the big guns. Lobo became a parody of the excesses of violence in the 80s, and here he is parodying the excesses of the 90s. And of course, for you eagle-eyed comic fans, you know these covers. There's a parody of Action Comics #1, Marvel Comics #1, Batman #1, The Flash #123, and Captain America #1. Yep, punching Nazis since 1993 and beyond. So hilarious comic book, honorable mention as one of my top covers. And the last honorable mention, the one that started it all, the first appearance of Lobo. This is Omega Men #3. First appearance of Lobo, created by Keith Giffen and Roger Sleefer. So, yeah, that's Lobo. It doesn't quite look like him because in the beginning he was a very different kind of character. He's always been a bounty hunter, but he was very different in the beginning. Purple hair. His face still is similar to what he became later, but, he was wearing spandex in the beginning. I'm not sure how they retconned that away, but here's his first appearance from this long-forgotten series, Omega Man Volume 1, number 3, honorable mention cover. And lastly, number 1 is perhaps one of the most iconic images of Lobo ever. Lobo, his first series, number 1 of 4. First issue, only 99 cents. A lot of these early covers were by Simon Bisley, and he became synonymous with this character. He just rendered Lobo in an amazing, memorable way. And so I've picked this as the number 1 cover because, again, this is a very iconic work. You see it all over the place on trade paperbacks, t-shirts, and all of that. So amazing close-up of the character, very realistic and detailed painted style. Really, really nice. It's the number 1 Lobo comic cover. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you on Zarnia.